Now at first glance, these two trucks could not be any more different, right? I mean, you got the Superman and the Clark Kent of the F-150 lineup. However, looks can be deceiving. And even though the standard F-150 looks very vanilla next to the mighty Raptor R, this particular truck is hiding a very potent power plant under its business casual suit. That's right, this truck is packing a Whipple supercharged 775 5-liter engine underneath the hood here, which might just have this Raptor R shaking in its big old 37s. Now, before we throw these things on the dyno and blast them to 60 using our Dragy, we do have to take a quick moment just to appreciate how amazingly awesome the Raptor R is. I mean, as a previous Gen 2 Raptor owner, this thing represents everything we always wanted in our Raptor: the heart, soul, and more importantly, soundtrack of a big bad V8 under the hood. And even though a lot of us Gen 2 and even some Gen 3 owners out there tried to convince ourselves over and over again that the EcoBoost is not that bad of an engine, deep down we all knew the truth. And that is, while yes, it might not be a terrible engine, it's just simply not the right engine for the mighty Raptor. Well, now, thanks to a little encouragement from another dinosaur named pickup truck, we finally have our wish, right? Well, unfortunately, it's probably gonna remain a wish because, let's face it, that $150,000 dealer massage price is gonna be a bit much for us mortals to swallow. So that's where this guy comes back into the picture. We want to see how a relatively basic and relatively affordable F-150 with a blower stacks up against Ford's newest top dog for less than half the price. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and talk to you about the differences in exterior or interior because A, that video has been done, and B, anybody with two eyes or hell, even one eye can see that the Raptor is just the much cooler truck, and it's not even close. Same goes for suspension. Instead, we know what matters most to us here in the good old US of A, and we know where these trucks are gonna be spending most of their time. So with all that being said, let's get our measuring tapes out and see who's got the biggest dyno numbers and quickest time to 60. Perverts. All right, guys, so we just wrapped up our dyno run here with the Raptor R. It sounded amazing, but let's talk numbers. Quickly, just for reference sake, guys, we did do both trucks in 5th gear. Yes, I know 7th is 1-to-1 in the 10R80. However, speed limiter is getting in the way of that, and both trucks were dynoed here on 93 octane. So let's break down the numbers. Raptor R is making, at the crank, 700 horsepower, 640 pound-feet of torque. Now, once you push that big 10R80 and turn those massive 37-inch BFGs, well, that is called drivetrain loss. And at that point, this truck is now making 559 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque at the rear wheel. So obviously you're getting a lot of parasitic loss through the big tires and other driveline components. Let's compare that to the F-150. Now, the 5-liter Stage 2 Whipple kit is quoted at 775 horsepower, 685 pound-feet of torque, again at the crank. Well, that truck, smaller tires obviously, but still making some good power. 596 horsepower, 488 pound-feet of torque. So yes, the Whipple truck is making about 37 more horsepower. It's not making as much torque. It's down about 12 pound-feet of torque compared to the Raptor. But you also have to keep in mind that F-150 is only turning basically a 33-inch tire. So that's very, very impressive here out of the Raptor R. Now, I should state that the Raptor R's 2.65-liter TVS supercharger is making more pounds of boost, basically 12 pounds of boost here in stock form compared to the Stage 2 Whipple, which is only about 9 pounds of boost. Now, yes, you are getting more displacement out of that 3-liter Whipple compared to the 265 here, but when we're talking about efficiency, overall boost levels, certainly things to be noted. So very, very close. I will say that torque does not surprise me. TVS blowers are known for their torque, and you are seeing that here with our dyno numbers, but I would say overall, very, very close. Both of these trucks are making a good bit of steam. So what do we say we put that out on the street, see what these things blast 0 to 60. Let's go. All right, guys, so here's the deal. We are in the Raptor R first. We have our Dragy. We're gonna do both trucks in 4-auto sport mode, traction control off. Both trucks have a full tank of gas, and we're just gonna see how they do. Now, if you're not familiar, a Dragy is a GPS-based performance tester. Very accurate, so we're excited to be using that. Did a similar test with the new Lightning and the Whipple F-150, and honestly, it was a very, very good race. but the Whipple supercharged truck edged out the all-electric Lightning by like 1,000th of a second or something crazy. So honestly, really curious to see how this is gonna go today. I think they're gonna be really tightly matched if those dyno numbers are any indication. Again, the only thing is this thing has 37s. The F-150 has a little bit of a bonus there. So let's start up the Dragy. Okay, nobody's coming. We're gonna stall it up, launch it in 4 high, and here we go. Got a little boost. All right, and there is 64.12 seconds. Damn, this thing is a rocket, even with those 37s. Very, very impressive out of a big, heavy truck, 6,000 pound plus, 37s. But man, I tell you what, it just gripped up and went. So I think my truck, the F-150 with the Whipple's got its work cut out for it today. Only one more thing to do, right? Let's get in that thing, transfer over the Dragy, and see how we do. We are in my truck again, the 21 5-liter F-150, 3-liter Whipple, 4 auto, sport mode, traction control off, full tank of gas. Here we go. 4-1 is the time to beat. We're gonna settle it down. We're gonna stall it up again. 4 auto, traction control off. 3, 2, 1. Come on, baby. Oh, 4-0, woo! That's right, undefeated. How about it? So a 401 out of the old mild-mannered Lariat here. How about it? Dude, this thing rips. Obviously the tires make a difference, right? We can't pretend that it doesn't, but that's what that comes with. That's what this comes with. We're testing them as equipped, right? So that being said, you know, 1/10 of a second faster in this, I think if anything is more of a kind of a flex on the Raptor R, right? Because it's doing that with a little less power and a lot bigger of a tire, but I still can be happy for my own truck. Come on, let's be honest, guys. So all in all, if you have the means for a Raptor R, by God, I would absolutely do it. But let's be honest, most of us peasants can't afford that 150K plus for something like that. And so in the meantime, you start with a more affordable platform, in this case a Lariat, 50, 60 grand. Slap on a $10,000 supercharger, and there you go. At least the Raptor R is not the king of the red lights, at least, right? We can take one out of its column there, get it off-road, well, that's a whole nother story, but well done, baby. All right, guys, so there you have it. A little fun battle between David and Goliath over there. Yeah, in this case, the standard F-150 might make a little bit more power, might be a tad quicker to 60, but at the end of the day, I don't think there's anybody who would choose this truck over that one. I mean, the Raptor R is such an incredible machine. It can do it all. Everything, of course, except that price tag. And that's what we wanted to showcase here today. Yes, you can build something to be just as quick on the road, of course, but once things get gnarly off-road, well then, there's really only one machine for you. Guys, we hope you enjoyed this battle of the trucks here today. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things F-150 and Raptor Rs, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.